from the Oakwall Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, this is Jesse Oakley III, and welcome to the Oak Zone, where we provide positive words of wisdom for you, the happy people. Now, Monday through Friday, offer a plethora of positive words of wisdom for you, the happy people, on my show, The Oak Zone. But today is Sunday morning, and it is time for the Sunday Morning Chat Series, where I get to interview a plethora of positive people that are making a big difference within their community. Whether they are speakers, authors, yoga instructors, Bitcoin experts, animal rescue volunteers, organ donors, or anybody else, if you hear about the positive difference they're making in their community, you will hear from them right here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series. And today we got ourselves a darn good show. Now, for people that want to step up and be a part of these episodes, I pick the best positive people, and sometimes the positive people step right in and say, you know what? I have a great opportunity here that I'd like to share with the positive people. And believe me, I looked high, and I looked low, I looked all around, and I looked between for many positive people. And for today's episode, you will not be disappointed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great honor to actually talk about the successful teams and the virtual safety speaker. Please help me welcome none other than the one, the only, Mr. John Hale. Hey, John, how's it going?
Hey, Jesse, I'm feeling happy now.
All right, that's fantastic. And without any further delay, let's chat. Okay, now I've seen where it says virtual safety speaker. Now, what is a virtual safety speaker and what does virtual safety speaker do?
Well, before pandemic, I would be on stage speaking to audiences, 30 people, 230 people, sometimes 530 people, promoting safety ideas, promoting leadership and teamwork. But now with pandemic, that makes it rather challenging. And so to keep that distance, we are doing the virtual meetings. And it's interesting that many organizations go ahead with those safety days. They go ahead with those motivational meetings. And I am invited to come in and speak to their body. And oftentimes I'm speaking to a group of supervisors and managers. Sometimes I'm speaking straight to the technicians, the workers.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you mentioned a little bit about this and the response, but how did you really get started on this? What's the background story behind it?
You know, my dad always had rental homes. So from my childhood, I learned about doing construction and being able to repair things and remodel homes and build new homes as well. And so when I got to be 16, one of my first jobs obviously was in construction. Other people wanted me to come work on their development. When I joined the military at about 23, I was first in warehousing and forklift operation, things like that. But when I made sergeant, they said, you need to move into a better career field or another career. And so they gave me the option to go into construction safety. And that is what I did. I took that up and I had some great examples around me that helped me learn. Went to a lot of OSHA courses, became an instructor of many courses. And now I have like 25 years under my belt of safety instructor, project manager. Sometimes it goes beyond safety. It's security, environmental, it's health. And that is me.
All right, fantastic. Now, what were some of the challenges that you've experienced in this venture?
Well, the biggest challenge, I think, is workers that don't realize how bad the hazard and that risk is to the health of their partners, their team members, as well as to themselves. And so they start doing a job. They're working on the roof. They are excavating and putting pipe into the ground, and they don't realize how dangerous it is if they're not following all the policies and the procedures that have been laid out. Because the people who write those procedures had experience, and oftentimes that experience is with people who've been injured, and they realize we need to put in some controls in place. So I think communicating a message to workers that sticks in their head, that's the challenge that so many safety professionals, so many managers and supervisors have, is making that message. And it doesn't just have to be safety. It could be the fact of following the process, following procedures, not taking shortcuts, using the right tool. And I think I communicate that in an interesting way.
All right. Now, what were some of the best moments you experienced?
I am a people person, and I enjoy working with successful teams. It's just warms up my heart to see that guy who comes into the company, and he comes in and he's mean and he's looking sour at the safety guy going, oh gosh, you're going to be over there at my job site all the time. You're going to be trying to keep us safe. Oh my goodness, you're just going to get in the way. And little by little over the next couple of weeks, they start to see that I'm actually there to help. I'm there to identify things that they might have forgotten, and often say, wait a second, you need gloves when you're doing that. Here, I have a pair right here. Here's some gloves. Now I'll handle that material. And then they start to realize I really am about solutions and not just there to make things challenging for them.
It's always good to have solutions. If solutions to every problem, the more solutions you get, the better off it is. My goodness, it's fantastic. Now, if you were to meet somebody that is inspired, that is amazed, that is in awe of what you're doing right now with this business that you're in, and they want to be in your shoes, what advice would you give that person?
Interesting question. About 2 years ago, I took an intern into my office for the summer, a college student who had been studying safety and pipeline and oil and gas work. He did great. Right off the bat, he had a lot of good book learning to start with. So going to college is very important. There's a lot of wide variety of knowledge that it's good to have as a foundation to be a manager or a project manager and a safety professional. From that, we gave him experience doing investigation of incidents to find what went wrong so we can improve, as well as going out there and, like I mentioned, coaching and being a happy guy that helps the teams to be happy. Because if you go out there ornery and mean, they're just going to be ornery and mean back.
Okay. Now, how can more people know about this virtual safety speaker? What type of website can they go to? What's the main link they can go to?
Well, you can get this guy, John Hale, by going to getjohnhale.com. That's GETJOHNHALE. And there I have information on my website that talks about me as a speaker. I could come to your organization, speak to the whole body of your people in this situation in a virtual. We've had some organizations, they put up a giant screen and the workers space out in a large space, and I'm able to speak to them for 45 minutes, a keynote speech. And an interesting thing I'm doing in the near future, we're going to have is digital training, micro learning that are 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. So that's something to look forward to. But right now, my primary thing is teaching at corporations, at large events through the virtual opportunity.
Oh my goodness. For those people that missed the link to the website, do not fear and do not fret, because the links will be in the description right below. So after you watch this overall interview, you can check out the link that John Hale provided right there in the description below. All right.
Now,
Go ahead.
Jesse?
Yes.
I know you talk about Toastmasters a lot. And if I could just say a real quick plug for Toastmasters, because it was in Las Vegas with Toastmasters that I got around some great people that were mentors to me and helped me realize the way to make a point is to tell a story. And then the next point, another story. And then at the end, you summarize it. And when they leave, they remember those stories, especially if they're dynamic, they're credible stories that are true or just kind of made more animated. And I've had people years later, they said, did that really happen? I remember that story you told us. And I said, that did happen. I'm glad you remembered.
Wow. It's always good to make a point and tell a story, and we can connect the audience great with the story and the point behind it. Fantastic, John. Fantastic. Now, we are almost at the end of this interview, and this is the shout out section of the interview. Now, is there anybody out there that you would like to give a shout out to right now?
My wife, I got to say that my wife is a great supporter of me. We both do a lot of coaching together. Actually, we participate in Stage Time University with some of the great past world champion speakers, and together we support each other in that. And so that is something that's awesome. But years ago, you might remember when I was in Vegas about 12 years ago, 11 years ago,
Yep.
Bryant Ferguson
Oh,
and
yes.
Pam Schinkel were personal mentors and coaches of mine. And we tried to make a small club become bigger and be successful. So many times there was only 5 or 6 of us there. And to get that kind of coaching from such a awesome speaker who went to high levels many times in competitions internationally.
Yeah, fantastic group of people. Brian and Pam, they are amazing, as well as your wife too. So always get them together. If you have the like attract likes, once you have that chemistry together, kaboom, y'all about to blow up.
Yeah, my wife and I have been married now 29 years. So she's a very good supporter of me and I of her.
All right, that's fantastic. Now, there are going to be some happy people. My people are called the happy people. They're going to watch this video and they are delighted with this interview overall about what you do and what you've done and what you experienced and the people that helped you get this together. Now, if you could offer the solid words of wisdom for the happy people out there, what would it be?
I love the theme of your podcast for happy people because the reality is a manager, as a supervisor, but even as a team member, when we engage with each other as happy people, sharing a point of why something is important, helping the other person understand that the solution is not something that has to be swallowed like a bitter pill. And we say it with a smile on our face. Maybe we share a little bit of insight, a story or illustration. They're more likely to receive it and shake their head and go, or nod their head and go, yes, you're right. Let's do it the right way.
All right. Now, this is fantastic. And I got to tell you, John, that on behalf of all the happy people that are out there, we'd like to thank you for taking the time out to do this interview for the Sunday Morning Chat Series.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Now, this concludes this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. If you want more plethora of positivity, go to YouTube, type my name, Jesse Oakley III, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, like, and share these videos with other happy people that you know. And if you want to check out more positive people, just go to the section where it says Sunday Morning Chat Series, and you get to see past episodes of interviews that I've done with plethora of positive people that are making a big difference in the community, like my friend John here. And this concludes this Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. And from me to you, I wish all you happy people a wonderful day. Take care and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.